Hi, this is Mike Armstrong, your state representative, coming to you from Olympia. I'm out on the House floor, and things are starting to heat up in Olympia. Session started the second week of January, and a lot of discussion has been going on about budgets and transportation and health care. I mean, I can't believe how fast and furious this session is going already. I want to talk to you a little bit about transportation. That's an issue that's starting to really heat up. One of the key issues that we've been spending a lot of time on in transportation is the viaduct over in Seattle. A lot of discussion about how we're going to rebuild that viaduct, or we're going to tunnel under the city of Seattle to save some property values for the city of Seattle. I want to tell you where I stand on the viaduct issue. Back when the 9.5-cent gas tax was passed, back probably 4 years ago now, we agreed to give $2.4 billion to Seattle to help them rebuild that viaduct. We were told at that time that $2.4 billion would rebuild the viaduct. Now, since then, the city of Seattle and King County have decided they want to do a tunnel. I'm okay with the tunnel. I don't think the citizens of Washington State should pay a penny more than what we've already said we'd give them. If Seattle and King County want to do a tunnel instead of a viaduct, then the city of Seattle and King County need to come up with the additional revenues to make that happen. And when I say that, I don't mean toll revenues. I don't think they should toll a road that we've already allocated funds for out of your pocket, knowing that those funds would replace the viaduct. So we'll be having that discussion as time goes on. Session gets closer and closer to making a decision on that. It'll be interesting to see where we go. Again, transportation's a big issue. We have a lot of needs across the state. To pour all that money and then try to pour more money into a viaduct, I think, is not fair to the rest of the state, including the ferries, by the way. There are ferry runs that are talking about being cut. If some of those ferry runs get cut, it's crippling to those local communities. And they're part of our transportation system, and maybe not one we recognize and understand very well over in Eastern Washington, but they still are. So rather than spend all our money in one pot, I think we should be looking at spreading it out, especially if King County and Seattle can't get their act together to tell us what they want to do. Other transportation issues that have come before us, some of them are kind of fun, some of them are a little serious, but one of the things that we've been looking at is how the slowdown in the gas purchases over the last year have affected the project lists that were created for the nickel package and the 9.5-cent package. So that slowdown of gas purchases has had a real impact on how many revenues are coming in for those projects. So we're having to kick some projects out a little further in time. Now the problem is, if those projects get kicked out too far in the future, they just fall off the table. We know that they're not going to be built. So to pretend that if a project gets pushed out to 2015 or 2017, we think that we're actually going to build that project. The reality is it won't happen. So we have to be vigilant about our projects that across the state, we promised you, the citizens of the state, we were going to build. So we'll be having those discussions on how to meet that need and others as we go through this legislative process. I want to thank you for letting me represent you in Olympia. This is Mike Armstrong, your state representative from the 12th Legislative District.